Jacob Frenkel, you're a former governor of the Bank of Israel. So the obvious question is, what do you think of the euro crisis? How do you think it should be resolved? And do you think it is being resolved?
Well, that's a long one. And euro crisis, those who do not realize the background to it would think that it is a crisis of the euro, namely of the currency. I think it's a crisis of the euro system, which is reflecting itself in the currency, but also in many other things. As is well known, when countries give up their monetary policy instrument because they join a common currency, and when they give up the exchange rate policy instrument because they don't have any more exchange rates, they are left only with fiscal policy. In order to make sure that the exchange rate system is sustained, there must be some limits on the diversity among fiscal policies of the various member countries. This was supposed to be part of the Maastricht Treaty, but this treaty had no teeth. So if there is one lesson, it is that, first of all, you must have a mechanism by which fiscal commitments are adhered, and it's not just a promise, but there are credible sanctions. And second, that somebody monitors it. There is an additional issue, which is a more longer-term one. If you look at the past decade, you see that the competitiveness of the members of the euro system has moved in very diverse ways. In the past decade, Italy, for example, lost a lot of competitiveness. Germany gained competitiveness. So if they belonged to the same bed a decade ago, obviously now they are much apart. How can we ensure that while they live happily together with a single currency, their competitiveness is also going hand to hand, and this requires structural measures. It's a word that sounds in the jargon very boring, but yes, structural measures that enhance competition.
But they will take time to bring in. Do you think we have time?
They will take a lot of time. Well, there are two issues. Time for the introduction of measures and time for the fruits of those measures. It will take years for the fruits to come our way, but it can take much shorter period for a credible commitment that one is on the right path. Markets are, while they are erratic and while they may seem to be irrational, markets do know to factor long-term trends into the present. If they see credible paths, they will be much more moderate, much more willing to give the time to pass. So there are really issues of the short term, which has to do with financing. And indeed, it's important that while one does all the long-term things, banks are capitalized, the Greek situation is addressed, there is enough financing to restore normalcy to sovereign papers, but at the end of the day, everyone should be able to stand on its own feet, and for this, competitiveness is key.
A quick final question. The global economy and the imbalances in the global economy, how do you see the economy in 2012?
2012 will not be a great year. Europe is going to be in a recession, negative growth, and in fact, this mark of success of the correct policies of today should not be narrowly judged just by the outcome this year. They are designed for the future. But at the same time, I believe that the US, while it will have slow growth, I do not see the double dip that people have feared. Asia will continue to grow in a reasonable way. Emerging markets will continue to be the locomotive of the world, as will China, even though growth in China will be slower than what it used to be, but it will be still the fastest part of the world. So by and large, the world of 2012 is clearly better than the world of 2 years ago, but it's still a long way to go.
Thank you very much indeed, Jacob Frenkel.
Thank you very much.